All right, welcome back. Episode 4, the ATD Baseball Podcast. Myself and Matt are here. Another week has gone by in baseball. We got some good topics, but Matt, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm loving this getting right into the summer season right now. It's great. It's great baseball weather, great baseball season. I was out caught a Phillies game last Sunday. Uh awesome time there. And yeah, how are you doing, Mello?
I'm doing good, but before I tell you how good I am, I heard you got recognized over there.
I
Melo,
did. I did. So I was in
he's a celebrity now.
I wouldn't say that. I was trying to find my way to my seat with my girlfriend, and a guy was in line for food stand. I don't remember. And we were sort of standing there trying to figure out where to go down to our section. And he was like, "Hey, aren't you the guy from around the Instagram account?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, around the diamond." He's like, "Yeah, I love your stuff. Keep up the good work." Dapped him up, gave him a fist bump, and then we were on our way. So yeah,
That's awesome. Matt can use that Meek Mill line. Ain't a neighborhood in Philly that I can't go. Millie, he can use that. He can use that bar now.
that's right. I mean, there's still some sketchy places I don't know if I want to drive through in Philly, but hopefully I can represent Philly, represent Phillies fans pretty good on this podcast. So,
Yeah, I think well, I want to hear some Phillies later, so we'll get into that too. You asked me how I was. I'm doing okay. Lakers are stressing me out. Kings are about ready to go home, but uh, Dodgers, it's okay. They're doing okay, I guess. Everybody's still horned up, so they're not on their way back yet, but they're coming back this weekend though.
yeah, that's
So
right. All your stars were they were doing some extracurricular activities in All-Star break, and now they're out helping their wives and girlfriends welcome a new child into the world. So that's awesome, but it kind of sucks when all your star players are out for a couple days.
yeah, they should have thought about that a little bit differently. But what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Also, weekend was wild in LA, so um,
evidently.
yeah. So all right, the topics we have for today, we're going to be discussing Bryan Reynolds. Of course, you didn't hear, he got a contract extension, which thank God. I had been saying it since the beginning, give him a contract extension. And then we're going to do same thing with the Pirates, but how real are they? Because we're about a month into the season and they haven't let their foot off the gas yet. So we'll see what we think. Fernando Tatis getting mocked by fans. I love to see that. I don't like the fact that he's playing into it, but at least he's being a professional about it. And then we'll have we'll be talking about the Orioles, and then we'll throw out teams, and then we'll see which one would we take, that or the Orioles. So let's just jump right into it.
All right. So Bryan Reynolds extension. Good to see the Pirates spend money for once, right?
Yes.
And it was their first $100 million contract, I believe, that they've handed out. He signed a 8-year, $106 million contract with the Pirates. And this is really going to lock him up to be a core piece for their team going forward to build around. And sure, I wouldn't say he's quite superstar level. I'd say he's star level, slightly above, but it's still good to lock up those people versus past Pirates trading them away, or even like an A's just letting them walk. So it's good to see that they're showing interest in keeping their stars around.
Yeah. Listen, the Pirates as of today, they are 10 games over 500. They're 18-8. And I think if you would have told a Pirates fan on opening day that hey, a month into the season you'd have a winning record, you'd be in first place, and you lock down probably the best player on your team in Bryan Reynolds, they probably would have told me you're crazy. What are you talking about? It's not gonna be us. We're gonna be under 500. We're gonna be dealing with this Bryan Reynolds stuff all season, or he's gonna get traded, and we're definitely not gonna be in first place. But
Yeah,
just more good stuff happening to the Pirates, and it's great to see.
and if you remember going into the season, he requested to be traded. And not
Yes.
to mention the last two trade deadlines, at least the last two, there was all kinds of rumors swirling around Bryan Reynolds, whether he be traded. Yankees fans are punching air right now as they were candidates to trade for Bryan Reynolds. Dodgers too, evidently, by Melo's reaction to trade for Bryan Reynolds at the trade deadline the last couple years. So I mean, it's good. It's good though. I'm glad the Pirates are getting this done, and I'm glad the Pirates are good this year because it's. I honestly think it's good for baseball for the Pirates to be good and not be a bottom dwelling team. Like they actually have passionate fans there in Pittsburgh. If you see some of those clips from when they were in the playoffs back in like 2013 or so with Kutch during his MVP runs, like they got some good fans there.
Yeah, and they play in a great sports town with the Penguins and the Steelers, and so it's like, and they've all had success in the last 20 years, and you got the Pirates fans that are like, well, where's our success at? We want Pirates to be good too, but it's just great, man, and I really hope this continues for the Pirates. Listen, I don't like the fact that they took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, but good for the Buccos, man. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, now that's a good segue into how real they are this year because like you just said, they just took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers, who were probably in almost everybody's top 10 power rankings going into the season. I would
Stop putting
say,
us in there.
well, that maybe that was overhype on a lot of our fans end, and you can attest to that, but like the fact that they just took 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. They've played some good teams so far and they've won a lot of series. Only 8 losses so far this season. Like, are they past the pesky team to a wild card potential, do you think? I mean, it's early to judge, but like from what we've seen so far.
So I think it is still early. I'd like to see it past Memorial Day. I think that's to me that's kind of like where I like to really consider if this team is good or not. I would like to see it after Memorial Day weekend. Hey, are you still a good amount of games over 500, or are you like a game or two over 500 and you had a slow start and you had a slow May? But their schedule, honestly, they have some tough teams coming up, but it's not that crazy. They go on the road for Washington. Then they got to play a good Tampa Bay team, which, listen, as of right now, that's your World Series right now.
Yeah,
Tampa Bay Rays and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Who thought we'd see that? And then they go to Toronto, and then they come home for Toronto and Colorado. So there is a pathway for them to have still a winning record after all this. So, but
definitely.
like I said from the beginning, I'm not ready to say they're good. They're a good baseball team yet. They're playing well right now, and I'm not trying to knock them for that.
Yeah, but it's also I'm saying I would say they're at least a step above a fluke. Like they're not a fluke team. If they were a fluke team, they'd be losing series and it would be like you wouldn't be thinking of them going into this series against the Dodgers. You wouldn't say, "Oh, they're going to get swept or they're going to maybe win one game." Now, sure, like we just saw the Reds swept the Rangers. Nobody was looking for that. So anything can happen in baseball, but nobody was thinking that the Pirates were going to get swept by the Dodgers most likely going into this series. And they like you said they ended up taking 2 out of 3. So they're definitely in my opinion they're there as a not maybe not quite playoff contention yet, but they're pesky. They're even above pesky. Like they're a good team.
Yeah, another thing you got going for you too is that there's 3 wild card spots now, and you look at the NOS, it's not good. You look at the AL East, besides the Braves and the Mets, it's not that good. And then besides the Brewers and the Cubs, Pirates are right there. So it's like you kind of, the Pirates fan, you can talk yourself into, well, okay, these teams are not doing so great right now, so maybe we can sneak into one of those. But we still got a lot of ball to play before we can really
Yeah.
consider that.
So much. It's not even worth like the Pirates could go out and lose their next 10 games. No, I don't think that will happen, but like it could happen and then we're right back to the Pirates are definitely not making the playoffs this year. So never really know what's going to happen there.
Yeah, but don't tell that team that they're not supposed to be winning these games. Don't tell them that they're not they're supposed to be a bad team. They just keep playing. And they keep
Yeah.
winning games.
Yeah, and hopefully this will be like I imagine that PNC is going to be a little more filled now. Fans are going to be a little more interested. Management ownership is going to see that and going to want to invest a little more in the team and go out and not trade away their good players and maybe pick up some players at the trade deadline and call up these next guys that they got and spend some money in free agency. So hopefully this can just get the snowball going in terms of good things going for the Pirates.
Yeah, just do the complete opposite of what the A's do. Just do the opposite.
Exactly. It's as simple as that, really.
All right. I think we got everything we needed to say out of the Pirates. A lot of
Yeah,
Pirates talk the last couple weeks. I'm surprised, but it's a good thing though.
yeah, I'm here for it.
We want to talk about these teams.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk Yankees every week. I get tired of it. Moving on. Fernando Tatis has been back, I think, for what, a week now, basically?
yeah,
I think about a week. So obviously he's on the road now. He's gonna be loved within San Diego because that's their guy. But once he starts heading out to these other cities and stadiums, he's gonna get met with boos, but cheers also. And he was getting mocked by the fans. I don't know exactly what they were saying. I just saw the clip of him dancing to it. But yeah, I really want Fernando Tatis to be I really want him to be distracted by this, just because I'm a Dodger fan. But I don't like the fact that he's playing into it. That's the thing that bothers me. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's how I feel.
Okay, so I know they were chanting he's on steroids
Oh, but
at the Cubs stadium, Wrigley there, and he was doing a little, shimmy to the he's on steroids and personally as not a member of the AL West or NL West, I like this. I think it's fun. I'm glad he's playing it off. Like there's two different ways that you could go. Like, sure, he could totally embrace the villain role, per so to say, and just totally dive into that. And he's gonna be, oh well, I hated it out there. These fans, like I wasn't cheating, and whatever. However, he would go about doing it at a press conference, let's say. But like, I think this is the better way. He's trying to go back to that fun, sort of goofy self that he was before all this came out, all the injury and all the steroid. Um, so I like it. Obviously, I totally see why you hate it and don't like it because you want it to be a distraction. That makes tons of sense. But as a neutral party, so to say, I enjoy it. I think it's funny. I'm glad he's playing it off and playing it cool like this.
Padres come to Dodger Stadium for the first time May 12th through the 14th. Listen, the fun stops when you get to Dodger Stadium, buddy. We will have you crying out of the ballpark by Sunday. At least that's the plan. But he's gonna hear it when he comes back to Dodger Stadium. And this is a thing that hasn't been mentioned, but you know, last year when Tatis got suspended with all that stuff, we did like an emergency pod, and we were all saying basically like, how does he get welcomed back into this clubhouse? How is he gonna be able to just come back and pick up where he left off and pretend none of it happened? Now, I'm not watching every Padres game every night, but just from the clips that I've seen of him in the dugout, him on the field, him in the press, here in the locker room, it seems like they welcome him back. It seems like they have, and I guess that's okay. I guess that's cool, but I'm kind of surprised by that. I thought they'd be more hesitant to just welcome him back with open arms, but
And who knows? I mean, I guess it's possible they had a internal discussion about it. You don't always hear about when they have player only meetings, but like sometimes you do hear about it. So, and maybe it was something that he spoke up during. Who knows? Like, there's so much time that media doesn't get access to that he could have spoke up and been like, "Hey guys, I know that I messed up here. I'm embracing that, and I'm just hoping that you guys can forgive me and take me in." As though not as though none of this happened, but like that we can start fresh here, and you're not holding this over my head for the whole season.
then it doesn't seem like they have, and it's a good thing now. San Diego needs to pick it up a little bit. I'm kind of surprised they're not up in this division by 6 games, depending, especially how the rest of the division is played. But they're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna be the first one to admit it as a Dodger fan. They're gonna figure it out. They're that good of a team. Soto, Bogarts, Tatis, Machado. They're gonna figure it out. So they'll be fine. Unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, I agree that like they're only either 500 or a game below or a game below above, I believe. Um, so they're gonna figure it out, like you said. Machado only hit his second home run of the season today, and obviously everybody knows about Soto's struggles. They've been well documented, which is surprising. The real question is when do you start getting a little alarmed by that? Like when do you start getting a little scared that he hasn't been able to perform in San Diego at all since he came over last year. Like his average has been down. Walks have still been there consistently, but like you got to do more than walk. You got to hit sometimes too.
I mean, I think just the amount of stuff that you traded for him, and then you're in this 3 year window. Technically two, but you're in a 3 year window where you have to win. All the money, all the time you've spent into building this team. I like to think it's very worrisome. It's like, hey, dude, we put literally all our chips on the table for you. We need you to do your part and start performing because we don't have much time. I think, look, I'm not saying the Padres are going to go out and trade him. I'm not going to say anything like that. But if you can't re-sign him or he starts playing bad, wouldn't you at least consider it? I'm not saying this year, like eventually. That's what I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you? I'll ask this from you have a little inside knowledge on both. Are you more concerned about the Padres start to the season or the Phillies start to the season? Phillies are sitting right at 500 today, just after beating the Mariners.
And the Padres are a game under 500. I don't want to use the term World Series hangover with the Phillies just because the Phillies and Padres basically ended their seasons kind of around the same time. I know the Phillies played an extra 6 games, so I don't want to go World Series hangover, but I think it's got to be the Padres. I really do. A lot of them had them winning the World Series this year, at least winning the division. And for them to get off to this slow of a start, I mean, I saw this the other day. I think Snell is now 0-3, and he has like a 5 ERA or something crazy like that. But
Yeah,
so I think it's San Diego. Phillies, you guys got to go through the Mets and the Braves just to win your division. So it's like the pathway is a lot harder for the Phillies than the Padres, but I'm more concerned with the Padres. I think the
I
Phillies will be
would.
okay.
Yeah, I would agree with Padres strictly because the Phillies, some of it you can trace back to injuries with not Aaron, Bryce Harper and Ranger Suarez and Reese Hoskins all being out to start the season. That's tough. Whereas the Padres, they don't necessarily have those injuries that are out. It's just literally their stars have not been performing like they should. Machado and Soto, like we talked about. So I think the Phillies will figure it out, and I think they're on that road right now. Um, just took two out of the from the Mariners, so I like that. But the Padres, I think ultimately they'll figure it out too and win the division. But they don't have, I don't think they have an easy road too. Like the Diamondbacks aren't a joke this year, and the
That's
Dodgers
true.
definitely aren't either. The Dodgers are a good squad, and maybe they don't deserve to be top five in our power rankings like they had been for the last, I don't know, 10 years or so. But they're definitely a great team still.
Yeah. Listen, I've had a problem the last couple of weeks of MLB and even ATD putting the Dodgers in the top 10, but I don't know. I just less pressure as possible is the better, and I just don't think they're a top 10 team right now. But that could change in a couple of weeks.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, we'll move on here to another team that's off to a decent start to the year. Orioles. We're gonna play a little game here. We're gonna say, who would you rather take, Orioles or And I'll start off. You let me know, Mello. Who would you rather have, Orioles or Rangers, so far this season?
Orioles or Rangers? You know what? Oh man, they're both in two tough divisions. But I'm gonna have to lean towards the Rangers. I kind of like what they're doing now. They're 14 and 10, and they're on a three-game losing streak right now. But this is a pretty good team to me. I think I've really enjoyed watching them the last couple games. So I gotta go with the Texas Rangers over the Baltimore Orioles, and I think DeGrom shoved in his last start.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. And Rangers, I feel like they have more established superstar pieces or really star pieces in general over the Orioles. They got a lot of young talent here and there. I mean, Adley's a superstar, but I think the Orioles or Rangers are just a little more established at this point. But another young team to compare to the Orioles, would you rather have the O's or the D-backs so far this season?
Oh, that's another good one. I'm gonna go with the Orioles on this one, just because I don't think the Diamondbacks are ready yet. They're a good young team, and they're gonna play teams very hard, and they're gonna play them very well this season. But I'm leaning Orioles. The part of it is because now they missed the postseason last year, but they did go on a little run last year where they were in the hunt for the last wild card spot. So I just think kind of that experience. I know little that they have. I'm gonna roll with the Orioles on this one.
All right. Last one here. Orioles or the Pirates?
Ugh. This one, I'm gonna go with the Orioles again,
Oh,
just because I think the Pirates have gotten off to a really hot start, and I do expect them to have some kind of a fallback very soon. But I mean, isn't this? I mean, for me, it's like with this, it's like, isn't this what Baltimore's supposed to be doing? Kinda.
yeah.
Like I'm not expecting them to win 100 games and win the division, but aren't they now supposed to be transferring into winning and making a run at these wild card spots now? That's
Yeah.
the way I'm thinking.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I agree. They're supposed to be taking this next step. They're not supposed to be the 100 loss Orioles anymore. So we shouldn't be babying them. We should be expecting them to be a decent team.
Right. All right. Now I'm gonna do it to you.
All right.
There's still plenty teams to choose from, but I've dwindled them down to these three. Would you rather want or have, I don't know what this is called, but Orioles or Marlins?
Ooh, it's tough. Marlins sitting right at 500 right now, 13 and 13. Ah, I think I'm gonna go with the Marlins.
Ooh.
So I like where the Marlins pitching is at right now. I mean, obviously Sandy's not off to a great start to the season, but that's not like Jesus Luzardo has been off to a really good start. Luis Rise has been off to an awesome start. Jazz hasn't been off to an insane start. I think he's been injured too to start the season. So, but I like. ah, I feel like the pieces around the stars in Miami, my opinion, I think they're a little bit better than some of the Orioles. Now, who will end up with a better record this year? It could very well be the Orioles, and I think that's sort of expected, but I kind of like where the Marlins are at a little bit better than the Orioles right now.
Okay. Okay. That's a good answer. Um, Next team. Orioles or Brewers?
Ooh, to me, this is easy. Now, I'm not as high on the Orioles as some people. Give me the Brewers for this one.
Same here.
I think their pitching staff really sets them apart from the Orioles. The Orioles don't quite. They got Grayson, and he's. I think he had a good start and then a not so great start for the season. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's how it went. And obviously, the Brewers pitching staff, everybody knows that they're awesome, led by Corbin Burns. But then I really like the rookies out there in Milwaukee this year. The freshmen, Bryce Turang and Mitchell. I'm blanking on his first name, but whatever his name, Mitchell and just the Rowdy Tellez. I'm a big Rowdy Tellez fan.
We
I
saw
like
him.
that yeah, he's awesome, and he was like top 10 in home runs last year. Nobody talked about that. But then just the other pieces out there. Oh, I'm always hopeful in Christian Yelich. To me, if you got that MVP next to your name, there's a reason for that, and there's always a chance you can turn it on again, so to say. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Brewers here.
Okay. One final team. I'm stuck with two. Um, I was gonna go with Seattle, but I know they took a huge hit, which we kind of forgot to mention. Robbie Ray's now out for the season, which
Yeah,
that sucks.
yeah.
Um, I was gonna go with them, but I'm gonna go to the next division. And I'm gonna go with the team that's in first place right now. Twins or Orioles?
Ooh.
Twinkies.
This one's tough. The Twins, the
Twins
offense
are in a
has
bad
just,
division.
yeah, they're in a bad division. Their offense has just not been there this year at all. And now the pitching staff has been great. Sonny Gray has been off to a fantastic start this season. And Pablo Lopez has made some good starts there too. Joe Ryan, I think he's 5-0 to start the year. Ah, give me a clean sweep. Give me the Twins here too. I don't like doing it. I don't like not
Wow.
picking the Orioles at all. But I I like the Twins over the Orioles in this spot.
Does the division have some, is it playing it too, or that's just
Yeah, it definitely does because the Twins could easily win their division. The Orioles, there's a tough, very tough road for them to win the division. With the Yankees, Rays, and the Blue Jays all in front of them. Well, not in front of them in the standings right now, but in my head, better teams, or at least you had to fight them so far. Whereas the Twins, only with the Guardians, and the Guardians have often been off to a slow start.
fair? Okay, fair enough. Um, I think that's everything. I think we basically covered it all.
Yeah,
Um, Before we get out of here, you mentioned earlier, and when I forgot to do this, you went to a Phillies game, Matt. How did you get those tickets?
I did. I did. I got them on SeatGeek. So, promo code ATD is going to get you $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. And yeah, go out. It's a great time to go out and see a baseball game. I hope you get the same type of weather I did. I had beautiful weather, 60s, maybe even 70s sitting in the sun there, but a nice
Looked
little
like LA
breeze.
out there.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I was right up. I could have jumped on the field if I was a lunatic.
Should have
Obviously,
done that.
I don't know if I want to get banned from Citizens Bank. So yeah,
I don't think the missus would have been okay with that.
no, no, she probably would not have. I would have been sitting in a sitting in a jail cell in Philly for a little bit. I don't know if they arrest you actually for that. They might just detain you, but yeah, I don't. I didn't think it was the right decision. It wasn't worth going out there just to shake Kyle Schwarber's hand or Jurickson Profar. But yeah, we were close enough that I could have heckled them a little bit if I would have felt inclined. Didn't get any balls though. I don't have good luck getting any foul balls or anything at
Me
games.
either. Did anything come close at least or not really?
There was one or two down the third base line, but it was at least like two sections over,
Oh,
so
okay.
it wasn't that close.
Okay. Okay. But yeah, so use the promo code SeatGeek, get yourself to
Check
a
them out.
baseball game.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What you got?
Cha-ching!
Yes, sir. Closing thoughts, Mello.
Closing thoughts. Non baseball related. Lakers handle your business tomorrow. Dodgers, just get healthy. Well, not even healthy. Just get your guys back. Not even healthy. Just get your guys back. Um, yeah, homestand, 6 game homestand. We got the Cardinals and we got the Phillies coming in, so I'll be excited to see that.
Yep, flying out there for that. I mean, no,
Oh,
I'm not.
definitely.
I wish, but no.
He's flying with the Phillies in.
Yeah.
Has a seat next to Schwarber.
Yeah. No, I wish, but no, Phillies uh, we're on the up and up right now, so we'll close it out with some positive vibes surrounding the Phillies and yeah, make sure you guys tune in next week. We'll see who's hopping on the mics. Didn't get to have Bobby on or Kyle on this episode, but I'm sure we're going to get some contributions from everybody next week. So, yeah, we'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, adios.